meditate upon the Divine Spirit dwelling in our hearts. Let us sit erect, keep the eyes closed. Let the mind be drawn inside. Let all types of thoughts be kept aside for the time being. Let the whole attention be focused on the Divine Light, who is lighting the whole universe, who is the light of knowledge, who destroys all ignorance, which is binding us, causing all types of miseries in the world. The source of freedom, reaching whom we become blessed with immense peace and tranquility. Let us prepare our mind. Let us take the mind along with us for these few moments. Let us be satisfied to be with the Divine Light, praying for the welfare of the whole creation. Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Jai Ramakrishna. Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Avatara Varisthaya Ramakrishna te Namaha Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions. Let us pray to him to lead us from unreal to the real, to lead us from darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This peace chant contains most sublime message of the Upanishads. Sri Ramakrishna came to show us clearly the ways of achieving our goal He came to show us the way through darkness of ignorance. He gave the light of spiritual knowledge. Whoever comes in the orbit of this light of spiritual knowledge will surely cross his life. The darkness will no more trouble him. The darkness no more exists for him who is blessed with the light of this spiritual knowledge given directly by Sri Ramakrishna. So he has come to lead us literally from our worldly ways to spiritual ways. He literally gave a turn to our approach. He fixed the goal and he stood as the living guide for all the spiritual aspirants of the world. So whoever reads the gospel, he must see that divine light. And Sri Ramakrishna worshipped the Divine Mother. The whole creation is under the hands of the Divine Mother. Nobody can go away from this creation without the grace of the Divine Mother. So, Sri Ramakrishna came and propitiated the Divine Mother. He showed us the way how to look this world. This whole world is considered as the abode of the Divine Spirit. Vishvatma. So, this whole universe is the body of the Divine Spirit. That means the whole world is consecrated. So Sri Ramakrishna takes us from that standpoint of view. When we are near the Mother, why should we worry for anything at all? Mother is there to take care of everything. And she does it. She knows in what manner she had to look after her children. And if we just look into the Divine Mother, she would be all the more graceful. And she hugs the children. Oh, this child is coming to me. Probably she needs something. So Sri Ramakrishna showed how to pray to the Divine Mother, how to pray to the Divine Spirit, how to concentrate and meditate. One step we should be able to put onward. 9 steps God will approach us. He is putting it in a figurative way, in a relative sense, just to explain the phenomena, how we are able to come nearer and nearer to the Divine Spirit. And if we hold on to the spiritual message of Sri Ramakrishna, immortality is granted. We have nothing to worry about liberation. It is taken care of by Sri Ramakrishna. So this peace chant, Asato ma sadgamaya, Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So this is the theme of the Upanishads, and how Sri Ramakrishna came and literally fulfilled all these prayers. Just if we sit in the huge ship of this incarnation, Sri Ramakrishna, the ship automatically takes us away to the other shore. Last time we have read certain passages, Master Mahashay, how he was greatly influenced. His whole personality was given a kind of treatment by Sri Ramakrishna. When he came to Dakshineshwar temple garden, many surprises were waiting for him. The first surprise was the remarkable serenity and the remarkable simplicity and the remarkable divine glory manifested through the personality of Sri Ramakrishna. He was literally in raptures. All the hairs on his body stood on end, feeling immense joy as if he was in the spiritual heaven. That was the first surprise. It churned his whole being. He became aware, as it were, of the reality behind this changing world. The second surprise, he felt the divine vibrations had tremendous cooling effect on him. He felt peace inside. He wanted it very much, but he did not know how to get into that. That was given here by Sri Ramakrishna. As soon as he stepped into the place where Sri Ramakrishna sat, he was with full peace. And another surprise was, hitherto he had the impression that nobody could be great without the formal education. Nobody could ever dream of proper intellect without the education that is got through schools and colleges, which we normally mean by studying books, etc., etc. No doubt they are all true. But then, here is a person who did not have any kind of formal education, but who was the storehouse of wisdom, full of wisdom. He acquired that supreme knowledge by which he could know everything. Then again, this has been stated in the Upanishads by the rishis thousands of years ago. Why are we aspiring for this education which is not helping you towards realization of the truth, aspire for the divine knowledge. Try to acquire that by some means. Once you get it, you will be getting everything. That is what Sri Ramakrishna did practice in his life and authenticated all these Upanishadic teachings in his life. Another surprise, M felt tremendous attraction. For the first time he is seeing Sri Ramakrishna. In that first meeting itself, he is feeling that irresistible attraction towards Sri Ramakrishna. That was remarkable. Sri Ramakrishna has become the divine magnet. Anybody stepping inside or coming in touch with Sri Ramakrishna would be drawn without any effort. He felt the same experience. Nobody could go without being drawn to him, and nobody would go without enjoying peace and joy. And for the first time he is seeing the tremendous love coming forth from Sri Ramakrishna, which is more than millions of the loves exhibited by the mothers. It is infinite love, without barriers. And this is pacifying the whole personality of Master Mahashaya. And that pure divine love was expressed in a most wonderful way. When Master Mahashaya was about to take leave, Sri Ramakrishna told him very tenderly, very affectionately, "Come again, come again." Master Mahashaya was completely overwhelmed by this experience. Overwhelmed. So far we had studied last class. And this is my observation after going through this nectar. The whole gospel is full of nectar. It is for us to sip that nectar and become blessed. Well, we have all come to Sri Ramakrishna. We are all trying to think and act according to the teachings of the Master. He is always ready to help us in so many ways. This is one important way. This Vedanta society, meant for whom? It is for you people. Why don't you utilize it to the maximum extent possible for your spiritual benefit? You must come here for spirituality, nothing else. Strike off everything else. Out and out, you wanted spirituality. So here is a place. Let us go and take bath in the spiritual waters of Sri Ramakrishna. This is meant for that. This is meant for meditating upon, thinking again and again, trying to understand the deep significance of the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. to become more and more humble. That's the way to get into this way of spirituality. Everyone is entitled to take the spiritual path. Never complain that we are householders, we have got so many problems. No use of giving that big list. No use. Enough of that. Instead of thinking about those lists, think in another way. What I am doing today, how far I have thought good thoughts in my mind, how far I have been able to practice some of the teachings given by Sri Ramakrishna, how far I am coming closer to him, how far. Let us think in that line. We will be saved from all terrible situations. Everything will be taken care of by the Sri Ramakrishna. We have nothing to worry. So total surrender, that's very important. That's very important. So now I invite you. In fact, last time also I had talked about some of the important aspects of the divine name, how it is very efficacious, how it is very powerful, how Sri Ramakrishna himself day and night would be calling on the Divine Mother, oh Ma, every now and then he would sing on Divine Mother. He had a wonderful voice. He could sing and sing. We call it Nada Brahman, Brahman in the sound form. That was the idea of keeping the names of the divine to our children. Somehow we must be able to recall the divine name. Somehow. Rama, Krishna, Christ, Buddha. At least by recalling that name, at some point of time you will be able to come inward. That was the idea. Not to forget the divine in the midst of our worldly activities, full of tension and so many things. But what we are seeing today, they think it is derogatory to keep the name of the divine. They put all sorts of names to their children, sometimes very ridiculous, carrying no meaning at all. Sometimes they put the name of some stars. They want to remember that film star rather than the divine name. So how can you expect peace? How can you get rid of bondage if you don't take proper steps at the right time? It is the responsibility of the parents first and foremost to live the life. The children will follow automatically. You must provide whatever that is good and best in you. There ends your responsibility. Then it is for the child to develop in its own way. So we must understand all these points, so we must be very careful. In fact, in this context I would like to tell, in our Indian tradition, there is nothing like secular. Everything is spiritualized. Even starting from the conceiving of the child in the womb. Can you imagine? Suppose the couple wanted a child. It is clearly stated in the scriptures given by the rishis who had foreseen everything. They would say, good. It is good to have a good child, but then you must have some discipline. You live, you follow some disciplines this way for a particular period of time. Then the effect of that discipline would be found in the would-be born child. So everything is taken care of step by step. And after the child is born, even when frequently, in order that we may remember the divine name more often, because the tendency of the mind is to forget the divine. So we must make our mind strong so that it doesn't go down. That's the important thing we should remember. And divine name has got all the powers. Only we must take it up and try to repeat with sincere love and devotion to the Divine Lord. He will provide you everything, whatever you want. Be satisfied whatever God has provided you. That's a great spiritual quality. Santushto yena kena chit. Lord Krishna tells in the Gita. Who is my devotee? He who is satisfied with whatever he has got. Santushto yena kena chit. So let us develop our spiritual personality. Let us prepare the ground. The mind is our ground. At the moment there are so many pebbles. Remove all those pebbles. Clean the mind. Then sow the seed of the divine name. It grows wonderfully well. So, it is now for you to talk about. Each one of you can come and speak your observation, your own comments on the passages which we had read last time and before last time. Whatever lines are impressive to you, you are quite welcome. I would like to share all your ideas. It is really wonderful to share the ideas, to share the joy, to share peace, to share spirituality. That's how I feel. This ashrama must be made use of that way. That's the purpose we have come. Each one of you must have that responsibility. It is my ashrama. I am ready to do my part. That way each one of us should think and act upon. Now please come on. Whoever wants to speak, please come. Now the point is this. Sri Ramakrishna himself has explained about this suffering on many occasions. The first cause of suffering, because he did tremendous spiritual practices before his realization. Tremendous. It is really surprising his body survived. It would have been bursted out. So, you must know that Kundalini power, the spiritual power, is in every one of us. When it is aroused, it has got tremendous reactions on the body. Tremendous. In fact, Sri Ramakrishna himself was feeling terrible burning all over the body. He could not find out in what way it could be relieved. He would go and immerse himself in Ganges. But afterwards, Bhairavi Brahmani, who came, she did something. She said, no, you are nothing to worry. This is because of your spiritual realization. These things are coming up. So, the body, because of this tremendous activity of the mind, it was found in the body in the form of reaction. Though outwardly Sri Ramakrishna was suffering in the ordinary sense of the term. In the real sense, he was not suffering at all. He was always cheerful. And when people would come, he would talk hours and hours. If a man is really suffering, can he speak that way? Simply will lie down. The second reason was, sometimes these things will keep the mind of the divine person on the level of the world. Otherwise their mind, they won't come down at all. It will be always in the highest state. It will be in the samadhi state. It won't like to come back. Why should it? Suppose I am in deep sleep. I don't want to be disturbed in sleep. Suppose I am in deep sleep. Somebody comes and pushes me up. I feel annoyed. What? I had a tremendous, wonderful sleep I had. This fellow came and disturbed me. That means you won't like to be disturbed at all. In that deep sleep state, without dreams I am talking about. Then what to speak of this divine realization? You are immensely peaceful and joyful. Why do you want to come to this cage of this body? But Sri Ramakrishna had the mission. He had to give this spiritual message to the whole world. Otherwise, how could the people know? So, in order to keep his mind on the level of this world, this suffering came. There's another reason. Sri Ramakrishna would receive some of the sins committed by the devotees in order to purify them, in order to bless them, in order to show grace on them. He would receive all their impurities and he would burn them. So those impurities are burnt in the form of suffering. In fact, I don't know, probably you will come across in the Great Master, you will have that episode also. Mathur Babu's wife fell sick by dysentery. It was so acute. Many doctors came and gave treatment. There was no sign of recovery. She was becoming more and more weak and weak. The point was reached that everybody was afraid of that she might pass away. At that point, Mathur Babu came running to Sri Ramakrishna. He begged the master to cure that dysentery. He would say, "Oh master, my wife is terribly suffering. Without your grace, without your intervention, nobody can save her. The doctors have lost hope. Any moment she may pass away. I am here to serve you. It is my privilege to serve you and I am doing. But if my wife passes away, I feel completely disheartened. I will not be able to do this service in the same way in which I am doing now." In so many ways he began to appeal and appeal and appeal. Finally, Sri Ramakrishna said, "All right, please go. By the grace of the Divine Mother, she will be all right." That was how Sri Ramakrishna would always say. There was no difference between him and Divine Mother. They are one and the same. He was so free from egoism. He would always say, "Everything is Mother. By Mother's grace it will be done." It would be done. So when Mathur Babu went back with this spiritual medicine, he saw his wife was slowly recovering. Within 1 week, she became completely normal. But afterwards what happened? Because of that, Sri Ramakrishna had to suffer months out of stomach trouble. Several months he had to suffer. And he himself tells that because I withdrew the cause of suffering to Madhur Babu's wife, so I had to burn out that. So my body had to suffer for it. So like that, there are so many ways of giving explanation to this suffering. And another thing is, another very important point we should remember, if the suffering comes, how do we act upon? Suffering is only another phase. Why am I not bothered? Why should I be bothered about that? I am not the body. I am the eternal self. Because of the law of nature, sometimes the body is sick, sometimes the body is good. It's all right. Let things happen according to law of nature. But I know who I am, and I am satisfied with what I am. I am eternally peaceful and I am eternally happy. That's it. So even when the suffering comes, Sri Ramakrishna would never stop uttering the name of the Divine Mother. That's the point. So, Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo. Sri Krishna says, this Sukha, Dukkha, happiness and misery, they are all very natural in the life. But you must maintain your equanimity in all these different states. That is the spiritual quality that he came to demonstrate. I will not be disturbed by these sufferings. He had the power to cure cancer, but he did not apply that power. He could have prayed to Mother. Sri Ramakrishna, who prayed to Mother to cure the disease of the Madhur Babu's wife, could he not pray for the Mother to cure his own cancer? It was possible, but he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to give importance to the body. He didn't want to lower the mind to the body level. He didn't want to say that, look, this is my body, please cure it. He didn't want to say that. This is not my body, everything is Mother's. It is Mother's. Let her do whatever she wills. I will not ask for it. That's the supreme renunciation. Supreme master of renunciation, Sri Ramakrishna. So he came to show us that. There is one famous incident, Naga Mahashaya. If you have not read, please read that book. Fantastic life of Naga Mahashaya. A great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. Very great devotee. When he would take prasadam, he would not only take the prasadam, he would eat even the leaf also. To that extent his devotion was going on. Once he came to Sri Ramakrishna to see, when he was down with cancer in Kasipur garden, Naga Mahashaya came very near and he inquired about how the master was doing. The master wanted to test him. Well, look, I am suffering. This throat sore is there, not curable. What can be done? Do you have any medicine for that? He was a doctor, Dr. Naga Mahashaya. Then Naga Mahashaya says, well, if you permit me, I will take this disease. Can you imagine? He was ready to take. And Sri Ramakrishna knew that Naga Mahashaya had that power. He could take up the disease of Sri Ramakrishna and suffer himself and get relief to Sri Ramakrishna. He was ready to sacrifice his life for the sake of the Master. But then Master stopped him. No, I know you. Just to test, I asked this question. Please don't do that. He prevented him. Sri Ramakrishna wanted everything to go in a natural way. He didn't want to apply spiritual power for all the things which are going on. It is for us to analyze and separate ourselves from all these things and how to live in this life amidst all this chorus. So many situations, difficult circumstances, they do come. But then you must maintain your spirituality under all such circumstances. It is to show that Sri Ramakrishna suffered. He suffered for the sake of humanity. Why Lord Christ had to suffer? Why was he crucified? He was the embodiment of love and compassion. He was full of powers. He could have very easily prevented those people to do such things. But he never did it. Why? He had that special spiritual quality called in Sanskrit Kshama. In fact, last week I spoke about the subject in the Ganges. Kshama, the forgiveness. Forgiveness. He is not disturbed by anything. Let anything happen. That's it. So to set the ideal for us, to set the mold for us, Sri Ramakrishna lived that way. One can be human, at the same time one can be divine. So this combination of humanness and divinity, that's what we see in Sri Ramakrishna. If somebody was in trouble, if somebody passed away, if he came to know of it, he would shed tears. I am a human being. I am not a dry monk. Sri Ramakrishna would say like that. But at the same time, he would transcend his mind. He would transcend. So we must learn these things. First of all, we must thoroughly study all this and how the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, each one of them, how they suffered. They suffered because of their love towards humanity. They suffered because of the Master's love to them and their love towards Master. So that is how I see this suffering. It's a very good question, because many times people are posing this problem. That's why Sri Ramakrishna has given the solution, and I have already told you, Sri Ramakrishna is the model. The model should be perfect. And so, in order to give the perfect idea about renunciation, Sri Ramakrishna has shown that life. Even being married, how both Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Sharda lived the life of purity and perfection, and they did not get down to the physical level at all. It doesn't mean that everyone will have to be in that state. Then again Sri Ramakrishna gives a solution that, good, we have given the mold for you. After having one or two children, you live like brother and sister and devote whole time for your spiritual development. So like that Sri Ramakrishna has said. And about the needs which Mr. Bhatia was pointing, it is true. When we stay in the home, we are pulled down by so many things and we have to act upon, and we are forced to do certain things. Quite correct. But then, if you have the spiritual attitude, you will not be caught in the name of doing your duties or in the name of attending on your needs. You must be very careful. You should not be caught. It's a kind of illusion that I am doing these things, I am doing that. But as long as I am identifying with these things, I am bound to suffer. I can't expect peace until and unless I am able to dissociate with the things. That is why the philosophy of non-attachment is given in the Bhagavad Gita. You do everything wonderfully well, but don't be attached. That means what? Don't be caught in the mesh of doing the things. That's what Sri Ramakrishna is warning. There's a fine passage in the Gospel, advice to householders, how the householders should live. There are people and people. There may be some people, A, B, C, D, living like that, but why should I imitate them? Why should I say, oh, those people are able to come only in the weekends, so if I go daily to the Vedanta society, it is not proper. What the people will think? Why this guy is going every day? So that means he wants to imitate, he also should come only in the weekend. Why that kind of imitation? If I think it is the right thing to do, immediately I should do it. And Sri Ramakrishna himself suggests that renunciation should be practiced even if he is a householder. It is internal renunciation. What is the meaning of renunciation? It means the mind aspires for the divine and nothing else. The mind is attached to the divine. I want Sri Ramakrishna. I am doing everything for his sake. That's it. And when I am trying to spiritualize my duties, etc., my priority is for developing my spiritual personality, not to run after the things of the world. That is the way. So unless we are careful and watchful, we may think that what we consider duty may not be conducive to lead you towards liberation. What I mean to say is, there are people who say, it is my duty to go to the office. I am getting money, he is giving salary to me. Otherwise, who will look after my wife and children? So I must go and work there. So my first priority is to go and do the job of the person under whom I am working. So his conception of duty starts from that point. But then what about your duty towards God? Nobody thinks about that. Who gave you this birth here? How could you get this body without the God's grace? So why not we consider that also as a duty? The first priority must be given to our devotional practices. And do the rest of the things, whatever you want. But our attention and focus must be on our spirituality, on the divine. Do everything in the name of the Lord and offer everything to Him. If you have that attitude, you will not commit any wrong things in your life and you will not injure anybody, and you will not be disturbed. True, sometimes if you stick on to spiritual values, you may have to pass through some difficulties. That is a test, exactly. That is a test. When the difficult circumstances come, are you still able to pursue the spiritual path? Even Sri Ramakrishna's father, Kshudiram, had to pass through terrible difficulties. He had to leave his own home with wife and children, with nothing, because a false suit was filed against him by the landlord, by a rich man of the place, because Kshudiram did not go and gave a false witness which that wealthy man wanted. So he became angry and he filed a false suit against Kshudiram, the father of Sri Ramakrishna, and he bribed the judge, and the order was passed in favor of that wealthy man. As a result, Kshudiram's own house and his landed property, everything was taken away by that wealthy fellow. He had to go out. Chant the name of the Lord. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of their heart may be wiped clean and quenched that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, down deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years. And my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou, who stealest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.